evening, Broad Coven. I'm here to drop in with you around a very important astrological transit, and we're going to be doing a quest wildcard read on this. This is for the collective, so any sign. I don't care about your placement. I don't care what your descendant is. Just come as you are. If you're drawn to this message, then this message is for you. If the title pulled you in, then obviously you're in resonance with this frequency that's coming through here. So there's something for you to get a little medicine to take away as we head through this initiatory gateway that is Pluto entering into Capricorn again, which went down on September 1st and will be traveling with us through November 19th, until at which point it will move back into the sign of Aquarius, where we'll usher in the road to that stone of destiny and the Aquarian age that will culminate in the middle of 2025 when those nodes of destiny shift in the summer. And this cycle here is all about moving through that gateway of initiation where you have completely been transformed by the fire. In other words, that sword of truth that you have gained has cut through all illusion. There's a sword of truth that has provided you the answers that you needed to know what you need to release now. And now is the time to go willingly into the flame, or what will be the ring of fire that comes in with the mirror moon on October 2nd with that solar eclipse that will be going down in Libra. So this is an important gateway of initiation we have going on here. Pluto in Capricorn is a bit mean and heavy, and there's mirror magic going on right now. But you don't need, look at this, the shock of the new. Yes, it's revolutionary, I have to say. You don't need to have a prop to work this kind of magic. You are the wand. You are the activating force. You are the spirit of Lu. So this is about going through a deep transformation within and recognizing in whatever way you want to see change in the world. First, you have to transmute that energy within yourself. And maybe you think you don't hold certain energies. They're coming through as distortions of darkness that need to be rebuked. And I say that because darkness in itself is not evil. The stars are birthed out of the darkness. All of creation comes from that state of the unknown. It's a place of pause. It's a place of renewal and restoration. It's a place of germination, of stillness, of trusting, of being fearless and held within the seed of the potential and trusting that it will break ground and bloom. Okay, so this is the point where you have to recognize that there's going to be things surfacing for you from deep within, but it's going to appear like they're coming from without. It's going to appear that it's coming from people around you, and that's not the case at all. Everything is sourced from within. This is a deep test in alchemy. Can you transmute the shadow? Can you be informed by darkness? Can you hold the seed of the potential without distorting its power, without being overwrought by the darkness, where you succumb to ignorance, or where your love is clouded with hate or judgment? Do you know how to find those places within yourself that hold such blocks, limitations, BS, belief systems, programming, corrupt files? Okay. So I thought we'd start out first just by looking at this energy, and then we'll dive into the quest read. I'm beginning first with an oracle card read here. I paired together the Halloween oracle with the Sacred Rebels oracle. I feel like those energies are quite complementary. We are being required to do the work to release something here with Pluto and Capricorn. And what we're being asked to release is the hold that the darkness has on us. And if you're staying in a place where you have yet to release, or where you've been afraid to speak a truth, look at a truth, where you have not been willing to sort of look at your part in situations, or you find yourself on a karmic loop in some way, that darkness still has a hold of you. And you should view it as a spirit of distortion that needs to be exorcised. This is a good time for that kind of exorcism work. Don't target what's outside of yourself. It's about finding the thread of connection within. If you pull that out at the root, then you transform the whole experience. Then the inner mirror is polished and the outer mirror transmits a perfect reflection of that clarity. Do you see what I mean? If you're dealing with smoke and mirrors, the lack of clarity is within the self, not in what's operating outside of you. Okay, so this is the work right now. Let's just get sort of like an overarching theme energy. So I like that, sort of the Funhouse Mirrors vibe with Halloween cards, seem fitting. And of course, Sacred Rebels is so fitting for having that Aquarian age come in and clashing against tradition and what's needed for expansion. Bottom of the deck energy, look, we got it again. Invisibility, authenticity. You see, there's even light within the darkness. Even though you can't see it, you think nothing has showed up on the scene. You think there's no light left because there's this great like smoke and mirrors illusion going on that the darkness is what is overwhelming everything. I mean, even scientists will tell you this, that all the light has died off in the world. But we talked about this once on the Great Attractor download. What if it is all one energy? I mean, that is something that is proven scientifically. What if we put all these atoms together that make up the conglomeration of ourselves and we become light generators? What if every single person did that? It was 7-11 on the clock when I brought that in. That's what time it is. That could bring about an alignment where we can shift that. We do not need to stay in the illusion, the distortions of darkness, which are all of those 7 deadly sins, the greed and the avarice and the gluttony and the lust and the envy. Greed and envy are 2 that are coming up very strongly to be cleared at this time. And I recommend for all of the collective, it don't matter who you are, it don't matter what sign you are, search real deep within your inner recesses to see where you may need to exercise the spirit of greed or envy within yourself here. This is about being stripped of all the artificial adornments and getting down to the purest essence of truth. And there's some light that breaks through as a result of this, okay? Let's get some more details here. It's also a cloak of imperceptibility. Yes, cloak your energy, take practical measures. Don't engage, don't negotiate with distortions of darkness either, where you are seeing them manifest in your outer reality experiences. But do thank them for providing a clue, for being like a finger pointing, and that finger is pointing back at you. Where do you need to clear out the cobwebs? I get it. I know that what I'm speaking about here goes against the grain, but we are not in common waters. We already know that with Saturn in Pisces. It runs contradictory. The water just wants to flow. Saturn says no, it marches on very linearly. It marches on this way. This is how it looks. This is how it appears. And the water says no, it's mutable. It can transform. It can bend. It can take on other shapes. It can have different currents. It's a conductor. And then they go, how can we bring these 2 seemingly opposite things together and become power generators for building the light? Look at all of that dove energy in the background there. Sometimes you have to go against the grain to get some peace. It sounds like a contradiction, I know, but it's true. Sometimes peace is breaking from the crowd. Sometimes peace is not going along with popular opinion. Sometimes peace is finally raising your voice and speaking your truth, even though your knees are buckling, even though you know it may be your undoing. Sometimes going against the grain is doing the right thing instead of going along with the crowd. You see, it's not about competition. No, no, no. We're bringing an end to that. It's not the foundation of the future. This is collaborative dreaming. And also, if you're finding that you're not finding that light building in your life, there are no creative pathways opening up. You don't see manifestations coming through. There isn't abundance generating. You appear to be on the lower side of that wheel of fortune. It seems to be just starting to roll over you. One financial loss after another, one opportunity drying up after another. Then you need to understand the reason why that's happening is because you're moving out of harmony with the work that is to be done to step us into the expansion. 11:09 on the clock, 11:11. You see, to come into the proper alignment for this magic to happen. And it's not just a magic that's hoarded selfishly. It's a magic, 11:22, that's shared with the collective. It uplifts all. It's for all of us. It's for everyone. It's for everything. It's for all of existence, 11:33 on the clock. It's not about competition. It's about collaborative dreaming. Look at the red bikini there, holding that key, that nautilus shell, that spiral of creation. The red bikini is the magnetizing force. Do you want to magnetize the blessings that are meant for you? Do you want to magnetize the empowerment that is wanting to fill every cell of your being now? Are you wanting to magnetize a path with heart? Are you wanting to make it to that distant shore, going against the grain as you swim across the cauldron of dog dust so you can get to the other side and you can find your sense of peace and you can get ready to get on the road to transforming all this stuff that you've been bickering about, fighting about, holding on to? You're right, you're wrong, I'm somewhere in between, I don't know what to do. It's all the system's fault. It's all, that person's fault over there. No, it's not about any of that. Forget about all that. Understand, it's a world full of funhouse mirrors, and they're projecting your own distortions at you. And if you're seeing distortions, or somebody is able to look at you and put you down and tell you who you are, then you have already bought into the BS. You've already been programmed. You need to clear out all the files. You need a complete system reboot. But don't look for it to happen out there. Don't look for so-and-so to do it. It's not about that. It's about you rebooting yourself. And it's fierce. Nobody wants to look at the places inside of themselves that need transformation. The places where we may hold ignorance, where we have something to learn, where we need to grow or we need to transform. It takes courage to look into those places, but that is the work. And working with the element of fire is so powerful right now. It's because that North Node is Aries, right? We got all this fire transformation theme coming in here. Fire burns through illusions. Fire burns away all that's false. Only what's true can make it through the fire. Only connections that are true can withstand the truth, that fire-tested truth. Only that which is meant to endure can spring back again, can rise up again out of the fire. Just like the phoenix, just like that new growth that comes after there's been just the complete decimation of a wildfire. Still, growth endures. What wants growth, what is focused on growth, will always persist. There's no way to resist it. And what do we grow to? We grow toward the light. And when we think of growing, it's not about a competitive thing. It's about more expansive view. It's not myopic. It's all encompassing. It's collaborative dreaming. So this is a big key. And if you're wondering what does it protect or what's the benefit of this, why should I go against the grain? Why should I move into this consciousness? Because look at that. It's such a perfect embodiment, almost like breathing the fire of truth there to get something warmed up in the hearth. And it's not just in the hearth, it's in your heart too. It's what leads you to happiness. It's that light that's guiding you to that doorway of initiation, that fire-tested truth, with that ring of fire new moon in Libra that will get you to the other side, to the hunter's moon, where you can shoot your shot at the moon and just might hit the mark and find that road to the stone of destiny opening before you. This is protected. It's actually protected by the very thing that you view as the deceiver or the trickster or the devil. It's in you. It's inside you. It's not outside you. It's where you hold distortions of darkness inside you. And only you can transform it. Only you have the power to transform it. Powerful way to open up here, I have to say. That's really powerful. Let me do a cut of the deck, okay? And then we're going to jump into a proper quest read, and we're really going to break it down. Yes, you see, every journey starts with a single step. Travel light. Travel with light in your heart. Travel light. Travel with your head facing the sky. Don't look down. Don't bemoan your path. You know, Saturn just doesn't tolerate it. Which can be hard for dreamers, but it's true. That's where it feels like a big clash. Feels like a big clash when it's in Pisces. You know, it makes the dream seem childish. It makes the dream seem like something that you should sort of like turn your nose up at, or dreamers are weak people. Dreamers are delusional people, you know, but that's a distortion. That's a misunderstanding. That's an ignorance of the energy. It's actually the opposite. It's talking about all of the expansion is in actually doing the work with which you've been charged. It's that thing that breaks open something inside of you that allows you to experience that higher rung of the spiral. Is what allows you to experience this beautiful transformation in your life, where you actually see the magic and the wonder of the reality that you hold this creative power to completely transform your reality. You have that free will. And there's something that is just bursting to come out of you here, but you've had it so bound up and you've had it under lock and key, and it's just wanting to experience that rebirth here. And you may feel like you're at the crossroads and you don't know what to do, but every journey begins with a single step. It only takes one step to move out of the crossroads. As wise Yeye Louisa Tish once said, and it's true. You take a step, the road rises up to meet you, and there's a lot of transformation happening here. Butterfly plan, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So with all that air coming in, we know there's also the activation of inspiration. This is when something is just starting to go through the cycle of manifestation, which means you got to be a clear channel for it, or else you're going to cloud up your mirror. You're going to fog up your mirror, and then you're going to continue to find yourself stuck in that hall of mirrors. You're going to continue to be on that path where it's like enter the dragon, and you're just smashing one false reflection after another. But if that's the way it needs to be, that's the way it needs to be, each in their own time. Each in their own time. Don't look back trying to help somebody through that. The empowerment only comes when you find your own way through that maze. Nobody can guide you through that. It's an inner journey. You can't judge how somebody moves through their healing process either. It's not anyone's place, right? But this is like not carrying all that old energy with you, letting it go, releasing it, and honoring the equality of Lady de los Muertos when she shows up on the scene, and accepting it, accepting the way the balance plays out, and celebrating the endings too, because the endings are the seed of the rebirth. The red roses there speak of the promise that comes on the other side of releasing the grasp on the thorns. All right. Pretty good energy here. Let's check it out. Yeah, there's a lot of protection on the road too, okay? So something will really come to a culmination point by Samhain or Halloween this year. All right. There's something that's looping back around, but we know the cycle we're moving through right now ties all the way back to 2008. So all of those themes are wrapping up at this point. It is quite significant. I'm going to start with the Infinite Tarot, and I think I might kind of go back and forth between the Infinite Tarot and the Glow in the Dark Tarot. It's just what's sort of calling me here, bottom of the deck energy. There's that North Node energy. You see, we're getting our coordinates on lock here. Right? It's time to rise on up out of this. So you have to start challenging the distortions when you see them, those things that you don't like seeing in the reflection of your life, in your outer experiences. They're showing you something that actually requires internal correction if you hope to get set on the right track. Okay, so this is about really paying attention when that energy comes in. All right, let's check it out here. Let's see, what is this quest for the collective during this Pluto in Capricorn transit that got kicked off at the beginning of this month of September 2024 and will be leading us through until it finally changes signs November 19th. Then it'll start moving into Aquarius at that time. All right, so we know something here is coming into alignment because it kicked off on the 1st, just before new moon, all right? And it's culminating on the 19th, that's 20 energy. In order to have a new beginning and have the proper alignment that brings hidden gifts, first something must be released. This requires a solo journey. It requires a bit of visioning. It does require you to sort of embody that archetype of the hermit, go your own way, build your own light, be guided by your own light. And through that, the path brings you in alignment with somebody that you're supposed to do collaborative dreaming with, okay? And with this, we have Queen of Sky. You see, it's ecstasis. It's the unity point when it all comes together. It is that North Node. It brings happiness. Queen of Sky, big Libra energy here. Okay, but do you see where the light comes? It's come out of all this darkness. It's come out of all of these winds of change or stirred up waters where everything became murky or everything felt erratic or nothing seemed to be able to be pinned down. But you're putting the focal point on the wrong thing. You're looking outside of yourself. The focal point right now is the heart. Think of the heart as the bull's eye. It's the center of you. And if you want to hit the mark, then you want to make sure that you're honing into this space. Okay, that's what's going to reveal everything to you. This is also about really integrating the storm so the clouds can part and the sun can peek through. And no, it's not a sucker hole. Okay, there is something beautiful that's coming to light here. You'll see it. You will see it with the harvest moon. That super moon, when all the eclipse energy is gone, it comes in on October 17th and in the sign of Libra. What is the quest here for the collective, all signs? I'm going to go ahead and call you all in. I already did that. I think sometimes it's nice for people to hear it. I'm going to go ahead and do another round for this quest. Okay, let's get a few cards out there for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Ophiuchus, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Oh, okay, someone wanted to come out there for Pisces. Ooh, okay, we got a lot of interesting energy here. Bottom of the deck. Sky tree. Isn't that interesting? As above, so below. There is a need to get very rooted right now, okay? You need to get very rooted. And yes, connect with a special tree. There's also some kind of famous trees that have been coming in for me a lot in my consciousness. I got the Yggdrasil tree has been coming in. The Kabbalistic tree has been coming in. The tree of the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eve, and also the Garden of Eve. I like the way that came through. Instead of the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Eve. Interesting. There's a little bit of Lilith energy there, okay? dark feminine has been coming through recently. I also got belay. Belay is the tree that holds the roots of fairy, okay, this energy. But this is about connecting with that essence of the tree. I do recommend you spend some time with trees. If you spend some time with trees, and it any tree, you don't have to go to some special place. It doesn't have to be consecrated on sacred land. All land is sacred. All land is sacred when you're really connecting with it. All land is sacred. So any tree, this can be a tree in a park. This can be a tree in your backyard. Spend some time with a tree. Sit on the roots. Allow the trunk to support your back. And just commune with the tree. You'll be amazed what you learn, but trees teach us a lot about how to weather what we're moving through here. They know how to root really deep, be grounded and strong, but also to reach up, to branch out, to move into expansion, even as they're rooted in what happened in the past. They're record keepers too. You see that on the rings. They've also traveled in loops and spirals, okay? So there's something about this, all right? But this is like a manifestation point, something that is coming in as maybe an inspired message, or your connection to spirit, or a sort of visionary experience is giving you a clue about something you're being asked to contribute or create or participate in, that you need to get really rooted and grounded in to be able to deal with here. Now, I want to look at this first card here, because this came in when I was talking about Pluto and Capricorn. We got water family, water sun. Yeah, that reminds me of the sea goat, you see. Saturn is currently in Pisces. Saturn is Capricorn's ruler. People always look at Capricorn and they just think, oh, earth sign. No, I think that Capricorn has that same temperance ability as Sagittarius. It's just expressed in a little different of a way, where that Sagittarian energy is about moving more up into the expansion of the Jupiter, frequency. It's more the as above, right? We got the Capricorn energy deals with so below, the foundation. You want to be the king or the queen of the earth? It all depends on your foundation. And we all have inherited the earth. Some of us just haven't claimed it, and we haven't responded to the call to also really exemplify that in our earth walk, how we connect with the earth, how we tend to the earth, how we listen to the earth, right? But this Capricorn energy understands how to root that sort of more visionary energy. They know how to navigate the sea. They're the sea goat, but they also know how to climb up the side of a cliff as well. So they will find a way. It may seem impossible. How do we merge these energies? Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, how does that come together in any way that makes sense? Oh, Capricorn will find a way. Capricorn will show you how to move through the illusion, to transform illusion, delusion, apathy, disconnection into really putting yourself into it. Capricorn, the sea goat, is the perfect guide to bring us across the cauldron of Dagda, to show us what's needed for healing, so we can really root ourselves on that road to the stone of destiny, so we can transform what have been emotions that needed to be released, visions that needed to be acted on, creativity that was meant to be birthed, but everything's been bound up inside. And part of letting that light come through, part of conjuring the light, is to conjure it from within you through creation. And that creation can be making an idea reality. That creation can be healing, a connection. The light wants to go out there, you see. There's a lot of resistance around it. People don't want to look at that. The creation can be art that speaks of something that people don't know how to communicate. And it transforms the hive mind, the collective consciousness. water sign energy coming in strongly there, even with Capricorn. So the paired energy coming through there with Capricorn. We got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer is the descendant, it's the descendant of Capricorn. So we also have to look at that too. What are we transforming? Our relationship to the Mother Earth. Cancer represents the mother. It's not just our relationship to the earth, but it's also our relationship to the mother. How were we mothered? How does that reflect in how we nurture and care for others? Right? For some of you, even your own children. And all of these are themes. Also, home. Where do I belong? Where are my roots? I'm all branched out, all over the place. Where are my roots? Where is my strength? Okay. There's a little bit of a clue there too with your roots. If you want things to flower, Queen of Water coming in with the flower here. If you want your garden to grow, you got to nourish your roots. You got to nourish your ancestors. The collective is getting a challenge to phrase your prayer as poetry. Okay, this is your assignment that's coming through here. It's part of your quest. Take your prayer and make it poetry. This light is changing on this side as the sun's going down. So I'm going to change up this lighting a bit. Let me just turn the light down. You see? Even in darkness, sometimes you can see more clearly. You just get acclimated there, right? If you bring the light within the darkness, you can see something more clearly. You're being asked to express it creatively by writing a prayer. And sure, a prayer can be something you write and you put it into a votive candle, or a prayer can be a poem, or a prayer can be a song that you write and sing and share with others. A prayer can be a dance. Your dance can be poetry in motion. Okay, but you are being asked to take a prayer and create something with it. Create something with it. That may just be somebody else's answered prayer. Interesting. 32:55 on the clock. The old way is coming to an end, though. We do need to cross this divide here. We need to get beyond the other side of the cauldron of Dagda, because the old way is coming to an end. And there's new growth ahead, right? To get to that unity point. 8 of Water, a lot of Piscean energy coming in here. A lot of Piscean energy. Right. The need for the feminine to soften, the need for the feminine to stop trying to sort of step into the more active masculine role, but to just be sure within oneself, within what one knows. Okay. And this is what is sort of stirring things up here. We got some news coming in from a Joker of Earth. All right. And it's news that it speaks of happiness and that desired outcome to a story, to get to that place of walking off into the sunset. But you see distant shores there. Look at the water, you know, it's all about getting through that cauldron of Dagda. This is something that's coming through. It's coming through as a high alert, like it's time to heal this. It's time to cross this divide. It's time to cross emotional distance. It's time to step into the light. It's time to step into that next chapter. Are you going to just leave the story off there, or are you going to create the new chapter? Right? Do expect some important news to come in around this that will initiate your quest, right? But right now, this has not yet been claimed. Right? We do have this high Ace of Fire. You see that sun that wants to come through. It's murky. It's surrounded by sort of this clouded aspect that's creating distortions. Oh, I don't know if that light source, if that's the sun, if that's my happiness I've been waiting for. Or maybe that's an oncoming train. I mean, I don't know what that is, right? It's a distortion. It's because of disconnection from the source. It's being at effect instead of at cause. In other words, my life is like this because this person and this person and this person and this set of circumstances did this to me. And yes, there may be people that you are energetically in agreement with that are providing that mirror through mistreatment. Okay, they may be mistreating you. I'm not saying these people are being cool to you, but they are giving you a gift. They're giving you a reflection. And if you use that whenever you feel activated to go inside and say, okay, let me kind of like clear this haze out. Let me polish the mirror. Why is that getting to me? Why is that affecting me? Why is it rousing me? Why am I feeling like I'm being in some way targeted here? Why do I feel like somebody's working against me? Why do I feel like nobody understands me? Why do I feel like I don't have a place where I can just rest and be me, where I belong? Okay. Where's that coming from? Because that's the distortion of darkness. And if you remember the darkness as the place of germination, where all the seeds are nurtured and where they, ooh, here comes big old mama spider. Now she's like, yeah, now we're cooking. Let's talk about creativity. Let's talk about the cosmic web of creation. How can we work in such a way where the threads we weave aren't ties that bind, but they're connecting points. They're connecting points that serve the many and serve the community. Interesting energy here. You need to reclaim this fire. This is about reclaiming the spirit of Lu. But usually the only way you can claim the power of fire is you got to go through the ring of fire. That is the way it tends to work. Okay, let's dive into it. So this is about a prayer you want to see answered. You are being asked to give an offering. It can be a song, it can be a poem, it can be a dance. Okay, you're being asked to create something based on what you learn from polishing your mirror and have that be your prayer. Then you'll see things move forward. You'll cut through all the BS, and where you were held up and stagnant, you'll go charging ahead, and quite valiantly, I might add. Okay, so let's dive in with the glow in the dark tarot, because I feel like I got all I needed from the infinite tarot there. I want to put things in just pure and simple terms, since we're dealing with conjuring the light and rebuking distortions of darkness. Let's just keep it black and white. Let's really look at it through that lens, and let's find where the point of apparent distinction actually merges and melds and becomes one. All right. So what is the nemesis? What is the nemesis for the collective on this path? 38:38 on the clock. 11:11. Yes. Collaborative dreaming, collaborative manifestation. You see, what is the nemesis? What is the nemesis for the collective? What is the nemesis for the collective on this path? I already did a lot of shuffling, but just wanted to shuffle these a little bit more for you. What is the nemesis for the collective on this path, on this quest leading up to that ring of fire? What is the nemesis? And beyond, really, until November 19th, when we get this shift, right? Ooh, look at that. The nemesis is your seed. I love how that came in. The Ace of Pentacles is a seed. It's a seed that can be planted, but not all seeds bear fruit. It's about knowing the right seed to plant, the right seed to germinate, the right seed to nourish, because it's going to have everything to do with how your garden will grow in the spring, right? So this is the nemesis. What is the vision you're holding around this seed that you're planting? Did your seed plant something that's invasive? It's the basis of the matter here. Yeah, look at this. Some seed does not bear fruit, all right? So this is about revisioning that if you hope to reclaim some kind of, You can call this a fairy tale ending, but that's looking at it through that sort of Neptunian lens, right? You need to bring a little bit more foundation into this with the Saturn energy. And also with Pluto, it does require that we look at Earth matters, the practicalities, if we hope to bring this together. There is change coming in here. There is something that's being transmuted. What's fixed is finding flow, fixed sign energies. Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus. And we got a Ophiuchus on the scene, which to me is the Sagittarian energy really merged with the Scorpio energy, providing a clue for transformation. Yes, shed the old skin. Release it. Let it go. Let the scales fall from your eyes. There's no riddle to solve. It's been under your nose the whole time. The truth is very plain to see. You see, we all got records of it. We all got records of it here. All right. So changes come in here. All right. But there's some seed that you planted. Now, it could be something you planted inside of yourself. It could have been something somebody said about you. You took it on as the truth. You planted that seed in your garden, and it's growing, and it's invasive, and it's taking over. Well, all you have to do is pull it out at the root. Blaming somebody else isn't going to resolve the issue. You still have this invasive seed that you've taken on that's distorting your mirror. It's blocking the reflective quality of your mirror, and it's creating distortions in your outer reality. So pull that out of the ground of your being and reclaim, reclaim the promise that is supposed to come after the storm. There is a moving forward here. What is the spirit ally for the collective on this quest leading up to the changing of this transit when Pluto moves out of Capricorn and back into Aquarius for the start of the Aquarian age? What is the spirit ally for the collective? What is the spirit ally for the collective? What is the spirit ally for the collective? Okay. Bottom of the deck. Again, it's not about competition. It's not about the haves and the have-nots. It's not about somebody being in power over others. That's not justice. That's not balance. Nine of Pentacles. It's about you being the creative force in your life and recognizing that you can generate this yourself. You can generate the kind of world you want to live in. You can generate the kind of growth you want to see. You can make your garden grow. So look at all these pentacles here. You can make your garden grow in such a way, if you take your vision and you elevate it, you bring in a little bit of that hermit wisdom, you can create a vision that doesn't just nurture you, but what comes through you also nurtures the many. There's more than enough to go around. This is reclaiming mind, body, and spirit. This is being in a place where everything is growing very beautifully. It's moving out of scarcity consciousness. Greed is scarcity consciousness. It only endures for so long. Eventually, the scales have to be tipped in the direction of truth. Greed is a distortion. It's a distortion of darkness. This is an illusion. The only way somebody can have power over another is if the others refuse to rise. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this in now, but it's sort of like the whole narcissism, empath dynamic. Both have manipulative qualities. People don't want to hear that, but it's true. Both have insecurities, and that's why they manipulate things. The narcissist manipulates because they feel insecure, and so they have to control and have power over others in order to build themselves up. It's not a true security. It's a false security. And though they may be in power, for a time being, their power is really dependent upon the agreement of the empath. And see, empaths also manipulate. The way that empaths manipulate is they have really fuzzy boundary lines. They tell you that they're being noble. They tell you they feel it all. They feel really deeply. They can't help but take it on, but they weren't invited. And empaths as well will negotiate with the narcissist because they feel like in order for them to maintain the power in the situation, which is to control the narcissist, they'll gray rock or they'll participate in these games instead of really rising up, speaking the truth and staying within their truth and not wavering from it or not leaving the dynamic. They mirror to each other, the same distortion. So where the narcissist manipulates to have a false sense of power, the empath manipulates as well to have a false sense of power. And that sense of power they have is over their environment, the mirage of safety they're creating in their environment. And these are learned. They're learned through foundational things. It's learned through codependent dynamics that's mirrored in our childhood upbringing, or if you came up out of addiction or anything that can create these kind of distortions of darkness that keep playing out in your life. You don't have to stay on your knees for anybody. You don't. This is about rising up and understanding. No, I'm the creator of my existence. Nobody holds power over me. I don't need to be subservient to anybody. I have everything I need within myself to make so much grow. And when I do this, when I choose growth, it doesn't just serve me, it serves so many around me. That's when one's life becomes like a light, because others see, hey, you know, they can do that. I can do that too. You know, that's how we light each other's candles and the light builds, that transformative fire builds. What is the lay of the land for the collective? What is the lay of the land for the collective as we move through this journey of Pluto in Capricorn? What is the lay of the land for the collective? What is the lay of the land for the collective here? What is the lay of the land for the collective? Strength. Strength. You have the strength. You have the strength to rise above what you weren't able to rise above back in 2008. Look back at yourself back then. Look at that reflection. Go a ways back. You have the strength now to overcome this. You have the strength to temper it, not with force, not with aggression, not with manipulation, but looking it dead on. You know? Having the courage to speak the things you felt too wounded to speak. Love is courage. Love is courage. Control, aggression, trying to make others feel like they're in a place of fear, that's weakness. Understand the difference. All right? Leo energy here. Leo energy here. Everything that is causing the suffering, everything that's causing the worry, the sleepless nights, it's just an illusion. You have the strength to release it anytime you want. It's already here. It's what's working for or against you. But you're traveling through this land of illusion and delusion, and you're trapped in distorted darkness. And so here you're chained until you can master fear. That's how you arrive at truth. That's how you arrive at that place of complete transparency. You have to master your fears and your lower nature. Be informed by them, but do not let them rule you, because they will overtake you. And then you'll need an exorcism. It's a good time to exorcise things in our lives. Ginger root, angelica root. Turmeric, ashwagandha. What's the beef here? What's the meat of the matter? What is that thing that's kind of the sticking point that we really need to address here, Pluto? What's been camped down, held in subterraneanly for too long that's creating all these problems. What is the beef? What's the meat of the matter? What's the meat of the matter here? You're investing in things that you know don't deserve the investment. And you're wasting time with this. Queen of Swords, that's the truth. And that's what's required. You've already seen that some seed does not bear fruit. There's only so much growth that comes from it. So this is about drawing Fraggle. The answer, having clear communication and cutting off what doesn't serve. You need to do some pruning here, okay? And that's the beef, you know. There needs to be clear communication. Some of you need to have clear boundary lines, you know, clear boundary lines about what you will engage with and what you won't. And in order to define those boundary lines, you need to speak your truth. You can't hold something in anymore. All right, what are the consequences that the collective has to deal with as a result of their past actions? What are the consequences? Rest time's over. You got to get to work, man. The Four of Swords. Yeah, it's like waiting for a rescue. No, that's not how it works. You are the prayer. Your very life is the prayer. You have to do the work. Okay? What are you going to create? Move into partnership with life. Your life is to be poetry here. Do you see? This is the new way. You can stay there all you want. Look at that. Then you do have something worthy of planting. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Earth. You see, we brought this energy in. Now we're cooking. Okay? Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn coming in there, right? Do, as they bring in the signs, pay attention to those placements in your own chart or the houses in your own chart. Right? So the work needs to be done. It's not going to just come to you. Nobody's going to get a handout. Like, the work needs to be done. You have to carve your way. Okay, what is the power to be gained through mastery here? What is the power to be gained through mastery here? Oh, look at that. Everything you've been wanting to come in, all those desires you've had. As soon as you release your investment, you notice that third wand is, you know, been the thing that's sort of been the odd element out. It's not allowing there to be a clear passage to move forward toward that sunset, right? Across that great swim of the cauldron of Dogda on a distant shore. So something does need to be left behind. It's an old Ace of Wands. It's an action that you took before. It's a seed that didn't bear fruit. Okay. Now the road opens here. And there is something healing, and there is something transforming, and there is a way forward here. And there are ships coming in, and they'll take you where you need to go. Look at that. Bottom of the deck energy, judgment, rise and shine. Are you calling yourself down for the count already? Oh, I'm just done for. I can't handle it anymore. Woe is me. Life's so hard. Everything always happens to me. Get up. Get up, man. No one's better than anybody else, man. It's time to rise and shine. And you got to be the generator of that light in your life if you want to see these ships come in. Right? That's what's really coming in here. It's like, if people aren't willing to step into their role of creator, then it's not just going to be handed to you. You got to generate that light yourself. It's so important at this time. Okay, what's at stake for your party? The people that you want to join you in this next chapter, that you want to see on the other side once Pluto goes into Aquarius. Who do you want those sacred rebels in your life to be that are by your side? Emperor, look at that. Beautiful energy here, though. I mean, this is what's crossing. Are you going to rise up? Are you willing to sit in the hot seat? You know, where is energy being directed at others? You know, oh, they hold all the power. Oh, they're in a position I'm not in, and they have all the control. It's like, the heavy is the head that wears the crown. You never know what somebody's experience is. You may think they're sitting pretty. They're taking a lot of heat. Aries, Taurus energy there. Okay. North node activation of Aries, though. Are you going to transform this? Are you going to stay blocked? It's crossing. Do you want that empowerment? Do you want to sit there and you know, put yourself in a rut with judgment? You want to sit in that grave? It's the same thing. You know, you're calling it quits before you've even, you know, given it a good fighting chance by investing yourself in it, by choosing a path with heart and fully investing yourself in it, even when the going gets tough. I mean, not brave. This is a not brave energy. It's too guarded. It's hoarding energy. It's greedy. It's groveling hands. They never get filled. So this is what's at stake, whether you actually rise up and activate your destiny or whether you just, you know, have some false sense of control that continually gets pulled out from under you, like having a rug pulled out from under you, you know, and falling over and over and over again until it gets through your thick skull. That's how the energy plays out right now. The Emperor is a very Saturnian looking character too, I have to say. Man. Yeah, I think it's time to, like, you know, put your money where your mouth is, man, in terms of doing the work. That's the currency, okay? Yeah. King of Wands energy there, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yes. Take the initiative, man. Bring your fire forward. Do what needs to be done. What's at stake for the new world you want to bring into being here? 56:44 on the clock, 11:44. Okay. There is something coming into alignment, you know, for those that are brave enough to actually step into their power and claim creative control over their own lives and, you know, stop moving from a place of competition or greed or envy or, you know, working from distortions of darkness, and instead are like, no, I'm going to take responsibility for building the light in my life. I'm going to trust the light as it's shining through me. I don't need other people's approval. I'm on my own mission. I'm answering a call. Okay. This is what's at stake, you know. This is what's at stake here. You know, having the cookies stolen away, you know, out of this sort of mentality here. The cookie is recognizing anytime you think you're getting away with something, or you're being real stealth, or you're taking something from somebody, or seizing control in some way, that you're actually, you know, only taking from yourself. Truth, King of Swords energy there, you know, you're only taking from yourself. What you're claiming there is it's nothing of any worth. You may think you're getting some Ace of Pentacles when you move like that. There's no reward there. It doesn't bear any fruit. All right. So again, collaborative dreaming here. Open hands always get filled. Clenched fist. Fixed hand's a losing hand, man. What's the cookie here? What's the cookie here for the collective if they focus their intention in the correct way? You have to make a choice. It's what you choose it to be. It's like all of creation here. See that sun above the angel, and that is Gabriel who blew the horn earlier. All of creation here is like, well, what do you want? You just got to bring the masculine, feminine aspects of yourself together here. You have to be willing to be both the magician and the high priestess. You have to work with that Jupiter and Gemini energy and unify here. And then, you know, let's get things cooking. What do you want to create here? We can stay here as long as you want. We can stay here as long as you want. And that's one way you can manipulate and control too. It's about setting yourself free, recognizing you're not stuck, you're not trapped. You got to take a step. Okay, what should the collective be focusing on? What is the target for the collective during this cycle? Hi, Pluto. Death. So prepare. Because before there's rebirth, first something is being released. We enter into the house of Scorpio.